Hey, Cruise Wenches, here we are live I guess we're in Orlando
Just
at
outside.
home, just outside of Disney. And Hurricane Milton has just started to show its ugly face towards us.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some cruise news and some updates for you on October 9th, 2024. It is 4:07 p.m. It is getting ugly outside. So here we go. Um, the powerful Hurricane Milton, currently sweeping through the Caribbean, has caused widespread disruptions to cruise ship itineraries, straining thousands of passengers and forcing several vessels to reroute, seek emergency shelter. The Category 4 storm, packing sustained winds of 140 miles per hour, has created treacherous conditions at sea, impacting major cruise lines operating in the region.
Yeah. So what does this mean? This means that there's a lot of unknowns right now, and that's the hard part. And there are a lot of people who are really upset with some cruise lines because they're not putting out updates fast enough. I guess we have to be understanding this. We have a sailing actually scheduled for Friday that we're supposed to go out of Tampa Bay on, and if you, yeah, have you got that up there?
Yep.
There you go. If you can see that, Tampa is right there underneath all of that color. Currently, kind of in that orangey, yellow kind of color. That's where Tampa Port is. Um, there's going to be a lot of damage over in that area, if not from wind, which is actually most likely wind because with the way that the storm has tracked, it has shifted a little bit south, which means that that kind of line where Tampa is actually going to get walloped with the northeast wall, outer band, the northeast side of the storm, which is actually where we're going to get hit with that too if it continues to stay on its track as it is. So the kind of damage that wind can do, I mean, we just don't know. But beyond the wind, the water in the storm surge, I know people are being helpful or hopeful, and they're saying, well, maybe it won't be as bad. They won't have as much water. We're getting water. That's the long and short of it. I think they said something like 12 inches of rain expected. So what you may not remember or stop to think about is that Hurricane Helene went through here, what, like a week ago? Maybe a little over a week ago. We are already saturated. Our ground can't take much more water. It can't absorb the water. So that water is going to stand somewhere. So when it comes to the water, there's a couple things. We are personally booked on the Serenade, which is a smaller ship, going out of Tampa on Friday. That ship has to get back into port on Friday morning from wherever it is. I think it's sitting in Cozumel right now. They rerouted and went. I think they swapped a port from Costa Maya and ported in Cozumel for an extra day. So that's where that ship is. That ship has to get back for Friday morning. There's no guarantee that ship can even fit into the harbor because if you don't know, there's the Skyway Bridge, which is a really big bridge that crosses over Tampa Bay. Um, but if the water's too high, that ship's not going to fit underneath of there. There is nothing the cruise line can do about that, and it's really right now it's a lot of hurry up and wait, and it's unfortunate. And I know people made plans, and we're really excited about these plans. We're excited too. We're super excited for a 9-night getaway. Some of these ports we haven't been to before. We haven't been to Panama. We have not been to Puerto Limon, I think, in Costa Rica. So those were two very new ports for us. We're very excited. But it is what it is. And, you got to give the company a little bit of grace. They're dealing with, not only are they dealing with airlines that are being canceled, people's flights into Tampa, Orlando, those airports are shut down. St. Pete Airport for airlines like Allegiant and Flair and Swoop, some of those smaller regional airlines, those all fly into St. Pete. That's also shut down. So half, I would guess probably the vast majority of people who are coming from away aren't even going to be able to make it here by Friday morning. Airports aren't even scheduled to start opening until sometime late tomorrow night, I think. And then they need to assess damage. They've got to see, can they even get open and accept flights? So there's just a lot. So
Well, as of 4 o'clock, 10 tornadoes have touched down in the Orlando area.
mm,
10 tornadoes. So this is one of the biggest storms that we've, I guess, gone through since we've moved to Florida.
mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
one has me worried.
we've been through what, four? This is number
Four.
four.
This is
I
number
think
four.
that we've actually personally gone through. We are generally not worried about these things. We always get ourselves somewhere safe. I think one we had, and two of them we had in Southwest Florida. One ended up skirting around us and going up the East Coast, so we didn't really get much of that, just some outer bands. The second one, Irma, I think it was, we luckily had some friends that were living in Claremont, and they invited us there, so we were out of the direct path of that storm. And there wasn't a lot of damage done to our home when we were living in Southwest Florida. The most current one that we've actually been through, other than Helene, which really, Helene, by the time it got to us, was a tropical storm, so it wasn't really a big deal. Not for us. That's not to say the surrounding areas or other people in our area didn't get walloped with some rain. But personally, for us, we were not affected. But Ike, I think it was, no, Ian, last year, 2 years ago, actually, right around this time. I think it was earlier in October, late September. I remember that actually. And that came over us as a Cat 1, which is probably what this storm is going to come over us as. But in the off chance that it's not, and that it doesn't slow itself down a little bit and lose some intensity, then it's going to come over us at a Cat 2. And that's a little bit more intense than what we experienced last time. So for us personally, we're in a new home. We have Cat 3 rated windows, so we're not worried too much about any damage to our home or our home sustaining damage. As far as the hurricane goes, tornadoes are a little bit different. So fingers crossed, as Chris said, we've had 10 that have touched down already since, about 2 hours ago,
Yep.
I think. So
Not even. It's just in the last hour, really. So let's catch you up on some more cruise news. So several cruise ships, including those from Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian, were caught in the storm's path, leading to significant delays and diversions. The vessels that were scheduled to dock at popular ports such as the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Cozumel were forced to change course as the storm intensified, causing disruptions to planned excursions and activities. That is never fun. Captain James O'Connor of the MS Freedom Voyager, a Royal Caribbean ship carrying over 4,000 passengers, reported that his crew had been closely monitoring the storm. He says, "We had to make the difficult decision to reroute our ship towards safer waters. It's always our priority to ensure the safety and well-being of our guests and crew," O'Connor stated in an official release.
Yeah. So anyway, for the passengers that are aboard these vessels right now, it's a really unsettling experience because they don't know. They may not even return to the same port that they left out of. For instance, our ship, the Serenade, they are looking at actually rerouting and porting over at Port Canaveral. However, that port has also now officially closed. So again, just so much up in the air. So a lot of cruise lines have promised full refunds or compensation for canceled activities, but there's a lot of unpredictability with this hurricane. A lot of vacationers who've been left in limbo. Some ships are being forced to anchor down near, the islands to wait this out until they can actually get back to port safely. There's some meteorologists, and they're saying that this has been one of the strongest storms that they've ever seen, and the potential for damage is really high. So even ships that are equipped to handle rough waters are having to take extreme precautions, and that's the important thing. And I think that's the thing that people really have to remember, especially when you're getting frustrated. Decisions that are being made for your safety, for your life safety. That captain on any given day has thousands of people that he is responsible for. She is not going to make a choice to put any of those passengers in danger. So please remember this. It's frustrating. We know, we understand, but please, please, please give your captain and his crews, her crews, a little grace. It is what it is, but it's for your safety. So for cruisers that are going out, passengers are just being advised to stay in contact with their cruise lines or their travel agents. That's what we're here for. We're here to help guide you through this. As travel agents, it's our job to help you get everything fixed and booked, is rebooked, any kind of, what do I want to say, talking with your cruise lines. Let us do that for you. Have your travel agent do that for you. We're the ones who know how to get, through those systems as best as possible to get the best outcome possible for you. But anyway, just stay in contact with your cruise line or your travel agent for updates on their travel plans, as well as any guidance from local authorities as to when it's even going to be safe, or if it's safe to travel here. We don't know, and we won't know until this storm is well and truly over us. This area, we're about an hour and 10-15 minutes from the port of Tampa. We aren't scheduled to get the brunt of this until about 3 a.m. Tomorrow morning. So we're looking to be clear of any bad weather, probably not until Thursday evening, by the time the rain is completely gone and things start to clear up and we can get in and have damages assessed and see. And then that will be communicated to the cruise lines as to whether or not they can actually even return to the port. Again, one of the big concerns with the Tampa Bay is that water level and whether or not a ship can even fit underneath of that the skyway. So big factor.
Yeah, there's a lot more to consider than what people want, right? We want to go on a cruise, yes, but there's so much more to it than that. I mean, the ports are getting hammered, the water levels are rising. I think the bottom line or the takeaway of this video today, this broadcast, is for now the storm continues to churn, leaving cruise operators and passengers alike in a state of uncertainty. And that's just where we are right now. We will be trying to broadcast a little later as the storm intensifies and give you a view of what it looks like so you can get a better understanding. So stay tuned to our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We count on your subscriptions to keep this going. It takes time to do so. And, getting the subscribers is really important to us. I hope that we brought you some valuable information. Again, the bottom line is the cruise industries are just waiting to see what happens so that they can give the best possible outcome to us. And hopefully, the cruise will go forward.
On a fun note, I will say that this broadcast was brought to you by a Dark and Stormy.
Dark and stormy.
Oh goodness. Okay, because it's green, it's losing a little bit. So I pulled out my officials Trader Sam's zombie mug for this one. Wow. My hair. Just if you want to make this at home, it's 2 ounces of black rum, a half ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice, topped with ginger beer. In our case, it's Schweppes or Canadian. Oh my gosh, Canadian Dry, Canada Dry ginger ale, 0 sugar. So yeah.
So we'll leave you with this fun little exit video, and we'll be back later.
Dreaming of faraway places, let us take you there. Adventure waits, book your escape with Wench Cruise, can we care? Your journey starts here today. Travel the world, the Wench Cruise, go away. Dreaming of faraway places, let us take you there. Adventure waits, book your escape with Wench Cruise, can we care? Your journey starts here today. Travel the world, the Wench Cruise, go away.